Hi everyone, today I'll be speaking to you about what you can do if your visa application is refused or if your visa is cancelled. And for those of you who haven't watched my channel before, my name's Valeria and I'm from Migration Mind. So the good thing is that in some scenarios, there's an opportunity for you to appeal a decision made by the Department of Home Affairs at the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. So what does the Administrative Appeals Tribunal do? Well, basically it's an independent body from the Department of Home Affairs that can review migration and refugee related decisions. This provides you with an opportunity to have your case heard afresh, and a member of the tribunal can consider all of your supporting evidence provided so far to the Department of Home Affairs, along with any new fresh evidence that you wish to present at the tribunal. And if your case is successful at the tribunal, your matter will be remitted, or should I say sent back in simple terms, to the Department of Home Affairs for reconsideration. So I will run you through some of the basic steps that you should consider when deciding whether you can or you should lodge your application for review at the tribunal. So the first step is to consider is whether your application that has been refused or your visa that has been cancelled is actually reviewable. And generally speaking, the tribunal can review visa application refusals or visa cancellations, as well as any refusals to approve nominations. The tribunal can also review any, certain bars that can apply to sponsorship. So it is absolutely imperative that you check whether the actual application that you're intending to lodge will be reviewable. Once you have established that your application is reviewable, the next step that you should consider is whether you are within the prescribed time limits that apply. And depending on the application that you are making, different time limits apply, and they are very strictly followed. So it is very important that you check whether you can proceed further based on how much time has passed since you received the decision with regards to your visa application or cancellation. Once you have established that your application is reviewable and within the prescribed time limits, the next step is to lodge your application for review. And in most cases, there is an application fee that applies. Currently, the Administrative Appeals Tribunal charges $1,764. And if your matter is successful before the tribunal, then you will receive a refund of half of the application fee. Once your application for review is lodged and the tribunal acknowledges that you have made a valid application, the next step would be for you to start considering which evidence and supporting submissions are you going to prepare and supply to tribunal for consideration. Depending on the matter being reviewed, different timeframes apply as to when your case is going to be allocated for a hearing. But it is always beneficial to ensure that you provide all of your supporting evidence and submissions before the hearing is scheduled. This provides an opportunity for a member to consider your case well and truly before the hearing is allocated, and in some instances the member might decide to not even proceed to schedule a hearing because they can make a positive decision on the basis of evidence before them. Overall, there's a lot to consider when lodging your application for review, and it is imperative that you obtain proper advice so that you understand the process clearly, and also so that you can maximize your prospects of having a successful outcome. I also want to point out that this is just general information and should not be taken as advice, as it is not in relation to any specific case or scenario. So please make sure that you obtain professional legal advice in relation to your particular circumstances so that you can be advised accordingly. So I will be making further videos in the near future about the tribunal process. So if you are interested, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email.